cross step, block, spin, corner back fist, eyebrow level, twist stance, block, suspended, punch, step back, leaning, up, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and close. Shake it out. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Now let me give you the front view. Start 3 feet apart, shoulder width, palms down. 1, 2, open up your palm, turn, press with the edge, turn your palm, close your fingers, pull back, open, press 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Up, thrust up. 1, down, thrust to the side. 1, 2, close. 1, 2, 3. Set up your hands, bend your knees, open up, offset, block, slide step, turn to leaning, punch, step through, remove, turn your body, punch, cross step, spin, corner back fist, twist stance, block, step up, suspended, punch, step back, leaning, up. You're going to hop, chop, uppercut, and close. Shake it out. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, next is going to be the first form, Moy Fa Kuen. Okay, stand 3 feet apart. Okay, I'm going to step back a little bit. All right. 1, you're going to salute. 2, 3, 4, salute. 1, 2, 3, 1, turn. Open up your stance, offset, horse stance, high block, low block, twist, dragon, leaning, step back, set up your hands, block, scoop, step up, uppercut, remove, turn, punch, squat down, uppercut, remove, turn, punch, suspended, horse stance, lean to the back, lean forward, drunken fist, remove, turn, punch, squat down, uppercut. You're going to step forward, remove, and punch. Squat down, trapping hand, cross hand. Okay, open. 1, 2, remove, turn, punch, step to the rear. You're going to remove, elbow, back fist, palm, high block, outside crescent kick, jump kick, step, press, trap, back fist, remove, turn, punch, step back. 1, 2, slide step, palm, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon, step back, block, slide step, turn to leaning, punch, salute. You're going to middle block, salute, step back. 1, 2, 3. Shake it out. Deep breathing. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, next form is going to be second form, Lao Gao Kuen. So let's start it. Okay, feet 3 inches apart. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Open, press or push. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Scoop, press, kick, punch. Step back. 1, 2, block. Slide step, turn to leaning, punch. Step up, diagonal punch. 1, double block. Middle block, dragon. Cross step, spin, palm, scoop, press, kick, switch, thrust, open, chop, diagonal punch, blade kick, phoenix eye. Okay, step, 1, slide step, punch, leaning stance, step up, elbow, strike down, back fist. Okay, I'm gonna step back. Okay, step, block. So this is just a repeat. Slide step, punch, diagonal punch, double block, middle block, dragon, cross step, spin, palm, scoop, press, kick, switch, thrust, open, chop, diagonal punch, blade kick, phoenix eye, finger. Set up your palms, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, push, step, 1, 2, 1, 2, step back, middle block, slide your foot back, chop, slide your foot back, elbow, strike down, back fist, set up your fingers, okay, 1, 2, 3, salute, 1, 2, 3, shake it out, deep breathing, 1, 2, and 3. Next, we'll do the third form, Bung Bo Kuen, praying mantis. All right. So, start over here, shoulder width. Okay. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, step. 1, 2, 3, lean forward, thrust, step through, punch, cross step, remove, elbow, back fist, set up your hands, thrust, pull back, high block, change your fist, scoop, set up your hands, 1, step, 1, 2, 3, 1, uppercut, 1, 2, 3, step through, punch, grab, pull, 1, step, 2, 3. So I'm gonna step over here, high block, chop, scoop, double elbow, 1, pivot your feet, heel, toe, punch, switch, 1, 2, 3, kick, jump, thrust, slap, step up, 1, 2, 3, cover, 1, 2, middle block, punch, 1, 2, 3, switch, 1, 1, 2, 3, step, 1, 2, chop, hook, back fist, cutting hands, step, 1, 2, 3, step through, punch, 1, 2, and 3. Shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, we'll do the fourth form. Jian Jian. All right. Let's begin. 3 feet apart. Palms on the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Open up. Thrust. 1, 2, 3. 1. Offset. Turn. Heel. Toe. Toe. Heel. 1, 2. Slide step. 1. Heel. Toe. Toe. Heel. Okay, close. Offset. Trapping hand. Cutting hand. Palm. Short punch. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Offset. Trapping hand. Cutting hand. Palm. Short punch. 1, 2. 1, 2. Close. 1, 2, 3. Open. Turn. 1, 2. 1, 2. Scoop. Palm. Scoop. Palm. Scoop. Palm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Close. Step. Actually, corner back fist. 1, 2. Slide step. Actually, we switch. You actually should do this. 1. Testing you, see if you memorize. 1, 2. 1, 2. Step. Thrust. 1, 2. Step. Block. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. 1, 2. Step. Scoop. Uppercut. Remove. Punch. 1, 2. Step. Block. Slide step. Punch. Step up. 1, 2. 1, 2. Scoop. Palm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now you do corner back fist. Step. Block. Side step. Punch. Remove elbow. Strike down. Back fist. Cutting hand. Palm. Turn. You're going to jump. Corner back fist. Palm. Double block. 1, 2. Step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Joint fist. High block. Step. Chop. Claw. So you go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Block. Slide step. Punch. Middle block. Salute. 1, 2, 3. Deep breathing. And see if it's going to come in. 1. Yeah, I was testing them. See, I switched the sequence. I actually cut one side, but I remember. Or just testing them. No, they won't remember. You on it. Who's the audience? If they memorize, maybe let's skip the
do the form we all.
yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, you notice the stickers on the floor because we're trying to open up and do the social distancing. So, anyways, last class we went through all those forms that we typically do. If there's any section on the form that you wanted to review, you can actually chat with us and let us know what, what part of the form you would really like to review. So the second form we've gone through many, many times. Third form, we haven't actually done this frequently recently. So when we're here, okay, you open to here, bring the fist to here, bend your knees, go to the rear corner, high block. Okay, hop, switch, cross the hands, end up here, pop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, step down, elbow, back fist. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is about where the forehead temple is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes down, up, left, up, 2, 3, 4. Step through, shoot it down from here. Boom. Grab. Pull. Okay? So when you're here, you turn just like in the fourth form. Push. Hook. 1, 2, 3. Here. 1. This comes across. As we step up, we have to turn. Hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaning stance. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Kick, hop, slice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 3 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back fist. Pull back. 1, 2, 3. Step through. Punch. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the third form. The sequence is there. Maybe Jasmine or Rose, if you've been following, you can use that form. Review that, see, the different positions, and try to improve on that. All forms are really postures, and these postures, it's the accuracy of the position when you're going through it is one thing. Your transitions, the timing is something that we can focus on. Now, when we're here, and you take that step, that you're like a Tai Chi stance, right? When you're here, and you go like that. The important thing is when you're here, that's your block. When you're here, how you lunge is where the power comes from. Now here, I step through. So same thing, you have to go from here to here to here to get the projection of the momentum from the body form going forward. That gives you the ability to generate. Because once you block and you strike, you have to go right from there to follow through. So you hear 1, 2, 3. And then here you would fold to grab, strike. So here, there, and there. So you see, this is a knee strike, this is a punch, and that's an elbow. So that's a series of movements in combination. So that's building, again, like a combination of movements. So just like a back fist and a palm, this is praying mantis. So when you're here, when you punch a knee, you have the strike, that's a strike going there. And this is pulling back, this is loading for your elbow, and then there's your back fist. Okay, so, a lot of that is, if the more you do something, the quicker you can cycle through your movements. Because if you're doing it and you're thinking about the next movement, you'll have trouble getting the next movement to happen. So what's happening is you're programming it into your body, and your body knows, what those next movements are going to be. Just like when we do this, back fist, that becomes quick. Then back fist to dropping palm to back fist. Those are like a cycling of movement. So if I strike, think of it like this. If I strike down here, I can't get through there, I have to go the opposite way. If I can't go here, I go back here. If I can't go here, I go to there. If I can't go there, I elbow. If I elbow here, I go to back fist. I go there, I can remove. So all of the moves you've already learned become familiar. And you can work off of each of those movements, whether it's the beginning of that movement or the end of that movement, you can kind of go forward and backward in it. An example of forward and backward movement is like this. This is the double block. This is the diagonal strike. This is the double block. This is the diagonal strike. So because we can cycle through that, becomes a movement that you can use to interchange and exchange. Just like the dropping palm and the back fist, it kind of can exchange. If I go like this with uppercut and I punch, I can go back to uppercut and punch again. That's a cycle. So that gives you a method to respond. So when you think about what you have to do, it's too late. So you have to practice these movements, especially if you're practicing it for self-defense, whatever. You have to practice the response time, and you can't develop response time without getting familiar with the technique. So it's like we sit here and we punch, punch, punch. So how many punches do we have? So when you get through the cycling of 10, or you throw 100 of those as part of a routine that you want to practice to get a good punch, that becomes pretty, somewhat of a reflex action. So when you block, boom, 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 you can throw a series of punches if you wanted to do that. And that's why we do something as basic as that punch. When you do this, that's actually our chill and circular movement, the wheel punch. When you block boom, 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 there's a series of punches there. When you go like this, a force form, boom, 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 there's a series of punches there. So that gives you an idea why we do forms and why we practice that way. A lot of questions are always asked, how do you apply these techniques from that form? Well, a form is to practice and a vehicle to train. What happens, once it's embedded in your body in the long-term memory, and then it's sort of movements absorbed, digested in the body, then your movements will come out from wherever your response is going to be based on what you see. If something comes here, you block. If something comes here, you block. Something comes here, you block. So your body responds based on all the things that you learn to do. And that's really part of that training. And that's the upper body. The legs, the legs most people have a lot of trouble with because people are clumsy. And why is someone clumsy? Because you can't shift your weight properly, or you're too stiff in your legs. So how do you get rid of that stiffness? You'll learn footwork. You learn to step. You learn to step. You learn to move your feet. You learn to shift your weight. You learn to move. You learn to move. You learn to move. You learn to move. That's how we develop footwork. So there's no difference in how we learn here as we learn here. But the thing is, these are harder to teach because they're not really, wired exactly for that. They're kind of wired to support weight in your body, but as far as agility of footwork, you have to kind of work at that. So to get fast on your feet, whether it's running or jumping, it takes some practice. So you have to condition your body to work as a unit. So if you want to jump, you have to lift. You want to squat, you have to sink. So that's directions. You want to move forward, you have to step. So that taking that step is not so easy for someone that's not, familiar with footwork, because you don't know what to do before you take that step. And you won't know how to take that step until you've taken that step. So the more agile you are on your feet, it really comes from, how do we move? 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 How do you move? How do you move? How do you turn? Those are all transitions that you've developed in your form. You say, well, I never saw that in the form before. So what happens when we do this? What happens when we do? I just did a turn. That's really a transition. How about when I move forward? Or I step, or I turn, I step. That's a movement. When my foot is here, I did a maneuver where I went like this, shift, and I went like that. You said, well, that's third form. Where else is that maneuver? Well, how about when we're like this? Right? We're here. That's a an advanced step, advancing forward. So all of these things that we have a backward step when we turn to this direction. We have an upward cut like this, uppercut. We have a down here. We have a downward position here. Then we turn. We go up. This can be squatting down. This can be coming up. You're pulling back. You're going here. You're avoiding this way. You're striking this way. Those are maneuvers. Avoiding. I went from here to here to here. Right? So something comes here, you duck. That's ducking. Squatting down is ducking. Standing up is lifting. So that's really direction of force. The legs, when you pick up a big box that's very heavy, they say use your legs. Why? Because your legs will support the load and you start to lift. Okay, so that's why your back is like this, you're using your back. So a lot of people injure their backs because they have either a weak back or the load is too heavy and you're out of position. So, anytime you don't have something supporting you this way or this way, the total stress is on, your back or the muscles in your back to try to sustain your position. So something has to compensate for the load that's, putting you in an awkward position, and that's actually how your back would get injured. So back could be injured, could be throwing out your spine, or could be straining the muscle. Straining the muscle is that putting it into the state of contraction then it fatigues, or there's too much there, and then what happens to the muscle? It breaks down. That's an injury. And it breaks down by the muscle, getting damage from, that contraction that's starting to give away, so something has to give. It's end up tearing. So that's the same thing happens when you sprain your ankle. If you twist it like that, you'll respond and it'll go back because you have a reflex there. But once it did that and came back, you already did some damage. You already hyperextended it, or the tissue is stressed, and you have to let it rest and recover or heal. You have to go to this healing process. So then it reconnects and fixes itself, So all the stuff that we're doing is learning how to be efficient, to move correctly. When you block, and you work your legs, the fact that we sink, your body actually learns to stabilize the body for this block. When we sink, it stabilizes your body for that. So a lot of the movements that we have are really finding the strength position, and then once you know the strength position, anything that's different from that is going to be a weak position. So there's only positions that can be strong or weak. And then there's in between, but you have one really good strong position and one really bad weak position. But once you get past, say, 50% of balance, then it's totally off. It's no good. So it's better to be on the top half of your movement, even though it's not perfect. It's better to be on the more correct side. On the the bad side really is off balance, using too much strength, off balance, out of position, using too much strength. All of those things cause damage, injury to your body. So, okay, so let's go to the fourth form. And what is one of the things that we have here? This is something that people don't know how to do in the beginning, is to get your legs working. So when you twist and you shift your weight, that you have to pivot on your foot. And we pivot on the heel. Okay? On the heel. You don't want to do this. For us, that's a no-no, because your power has to go in the direction of your movement. That applies in our Hunga and also applies in our Tai Chi. Wu-style Tai Chi pivots off the heel. Modern styles will allow you to do this. That's not good for us, because the power gets dissipated, and it's good to make your stand long, but it's not good to take your power in a direction. So that's something that's a bit of advice, but at the same time, you'll probably start to think about, can I pivot on my heel in a position? and you'll probably have a little bit of trouble in the beginning until it becomes something that you can do more commonly, because it's really, turning really is a shift of your stance, and it's a pivot. So it does take more control. When the legs are not cooperating because they're still a little bit tense, it'll be hard to pivot on your heel because it just doesn't know how to do that. So here again, what we're learning is a motor skill, and a motor skill is something that's developed to get your body to do something that it doesn't really know how to do. And motor skill is movement driven by the motor neurons in your brain. So motor skill is something that we develop in Kung Fu, in Tai Chi. Everything that we do is all about developing that skill. Movement is, is essential to life, but it's also the most critical part of being effective and functional. So when we do a high block or a low block, that's a motor skill. A motor skill is using your musculature. So for the kids, they say, well, what's a motor skill? I mean, there's no mechanical engine driving you. I thought a motor was something. So it's just driving those movements. What drives our movements is this motor. What drives these things is from this, telling them what to do. So, motor skill is getting your brain to do that. So your brain does the figuring out. And that's what we call proprioception. And, motor skill can be refined. And the refinement of motor skill comes from practice. So the more we practice this, the more we practice this. We don't even consider this as being a practice in the beginning, but believe it or not, doing this over time becomes practicing this. So that's as simple as you can get. So, can't overlook any of this. So if you got something from this class, we did all the forms, Mind led those, and the warm-ups. Copy the body movement to get the mental imagery, the picture of what that transition is. So with the kicks, the flexibility, the stretching, all of that. Stretching is still a body form. When you go into a position, you stretch. If you stretch out of position, you can hurt yourself too. But if you stretch in the right position, that's going to help your kick. It's going to help your angular position of your hip. All of this stuff is related to where your joints are when you execute. So on that note, I'll see you Saturday. Sunday we're doing if you're part of the Tai Chi, we're going to be doing a Sunday meetup. If you like this content, share it. Let some friends know. A lot of the kids have taken the summer off. Hopefully, some of the kids will be back in beginning of July. I know we have 1 or 2 days. Actually, we only have 1 day in the end of June that we're going to be able to hold a class. So Kevin, Brian, Rose, all of you, Woody, if you're watching, we're going to be opening class on next Tuesday, just for a soft opening. Come up to class, see what it's like. Lucien's sending out the schedule. It has a list of all the guidelines that we're following. Here's some pictures there. You can do remote sign up. That means you can sign up with your phone offline. You won't have to come in here and click that. That'll all happen. So along with that, continue to watch the videos for the rest of the next few days, and then give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll fill you more when you get back. Fill you in on other things. All right, on that note,